Alrighty, fellas, yo, what's up? My name's Patrouski. Good morning. Welcome to PokeMMO Stream Recap 502. It is currently April 29th, 2026, which is actually my birthday. So we're going to be trying hard today to get ourselves a birthday shiny. I will be shiny hunting on both of my accounts, my main account and my Ironman account, which is why I have two different earbuds in to hear the shiny noises today. And if you happen to shunt at either spot, whether you're at Swablu over in Unova or Jigglypuff, or sorry, Swablu over in Sinnoh, and then Jigglypuff, good start, Jigglypuff over in Unova, if you get a shiny at either spot that I am at, I will trade you a quick little shiny charm or give you a prize box roll or hand out some sort of prize. It'll be like a mini sort of shuntathon adventure. So we'll have some fun today, shiny hunting together at similar spots if you want to, of course, or just shunt wherever you want to. And of course, we're going to jump into the daily news. Let's go ahead and get into that, fellas. Your daily Pokemon news can be found here Monday through Thursday at 12 p.m. ET. Yeah, 4 days a week, always on the streams live and on YouTube's as well with these stream recaps. Hopefully you guys enjoy them. If you do, remember to like, subscribe, all that jazz. And really lets me know what kind of content you guys want to see, and always leave comments of what kind of content you want to see. There's no shame in asking and giving feedback on what kind of videos you're looking forward to in PokeMMO. That's what it's all about, man. All right, fellas, let's jump into it. First things first, we have one catch event right now scheduled. That is on May, 2nd of May, the May 2nd, Saturday, 2026 at 6 p.m. ET. That's my time zone. Other time zones are listed here. If you're in a different time zone, it might be on a different day. It's at 6 p.m. on Saturday, Route 12 in Unova. What's really cool is it's a Dunsparce catch event. You don't see this every day. I think Dunsparce is a super underrated shiny, not the most underrated Pokemon. Yes, he used to actually be an NU threat way back in the day, where he would use things like Coil to raise his attack and defense, and then or even like Curse, and he would use Serene Grace to body slam and headbutt, if I recall, because he would spread paralysis with body slam with Serene Grace, and then have flinch chance with headbutt. It required him doing all of this setup. He'd have to like raise his speed with agility. It was a kind of a real threat back then, but nowadays it is far past his prime, unfortunately. Dunsparce plus 3 species bonus for Dunsparce on catch events. If you aren't familiar with catch events, I do have tons of videos on my channel that cover how to enter catch events, how to submit your Pokemon, and then how to increase your chances and how to prepare for catch events. Sun Current is -3. Nature bonuses are on screen right now. Typical catch event rules, and then first place prize is a shiny Dunsparce. Beautiful shiny Pokemon, a great way to win one of these. Dunsparce is actually a ×5 horde shiny hunt, a really forgotten one. I think it's over at one of the islands in Kanto. It's you go through a little tunnel, and then out on the other side you can find Dunsparce. We probably can actually find it really quick in game, just for anybody. I can't encourage the Dunsparce shunt enough. It's a fantastic shiny hunt. It's over at 3 Island Port. That's what I'm thinking of. 3 Island Port has a ×5 horde for Dunsparce, and I believe it's 100%, but you might want to Leppa berry that spot. You might be able to go back and forth without Leppas. I would test it. It's been a long time since I've hunted over there, but I have hunted there a little bit in the past. All right, continuing onward though with our daily Pokemon news. Next up, UU seasonal PvP, man. I know it's not for everybody. The UU tier is a pretty diehard dedicated fan base, which is awesome. PokeMMO survived the invasion series. A lot of UU players might already know about this, but if you ever wanted to try to get into UU, do it with this tournament. It's gonna be intense. It's gonna be difficult, but it's gonna be a lot of fun. And it's a really cool way to kind of throw your hat in the ring, dive into the deep. If you're that person who wants to dive into the deep end and really try things at the highest level, and it may motivate you to even do better and like excel. Some people work like that, right? There is going to be this UU seasonal, which consists of multiple different tournaments. So it's 8 different tournaments, and then you earn points based on how well you do in those tournaments. Full details can be found over on the forums, and you can get into the finals, which is going to be on Sunday the 5th of July. So it's a few weeks out, of course. This is a very, very long kind of event, but if you want to prove your stuff, be the best of the best, and try to be a really good UU player and potentially win a shiny Eevee. A shiny Eevee is up for grabs here, which is insane. There's Miss Magius, Eevee, and Rhyperior, and first, second, and third place all get a shiny. It's such a big tournament, such a big long-term thing. The prizes for this are very, very sick, very, very amazing. Like shiny Eevee being up for grabs, you probably see that maybe once a year, twice a year, with maybe once a year. It's really, really rare. And then having the other placements also get shinies. Really cool to see, man. Shout out to the PvPers and the UU players, especially. Good luck to you all in that tournament, in that series, right? And continuing on with PvP, but this is important. Even if you don't play PvP, this information is crucial. I always try to tell people, whenever PvP tier changes happen, which happen at the end/start of every single month, it affects the economy. So don't sleep on this. Every player should be aware of what's happening in the PvP tier changes. Going up to UU from NU is Druddigon. Druddigon has been a very powerful tank Pokemon, very difficult to push through. He gets rough skin and rocky helmet. Dragon tail spam, can set up stealth rocks. It can be a real menace in the NU tier, and I was surprised when it dropped down and stayed there for a while. It's finally been played too much. It is going back up to U. It proved to be too powerful for NU, at least for the current time. It might drop back down. That's one of those tough mons. Some mons are too powerful for a tier, but then too weak for the next up tier, so they kind of just go back and forth constantly. It wouldn't surprise me if Druddigon fits into that slot in the current metagame of Pokemon, from my understanding. And now down to NU from UU, Ambipom and Xatu. I think Xatu is actually the big one to watch out for here. Ambipom used to be one of my favorite Pokemon to abuse in NU whenever it dropped. I have some crazy old PvP videos of me 6-0 sweeping people or just destroying people with Ambipom. Ambipom used to be way too strong for the NU tier. And I'm no PvP expert, maybe it still is. Please go check in with your actual PvP experts. This is a Shiny Hunter's conjecture, okay? So take it with a grain of salt. I'm no expert on this, right? But it wouldn't surprise me if Ambipom is not the beast that it used to be. Ambipom is just a very fast and very hard-hitting Pokemon with things like U-turn access in NU, which is not like super seen, right? With things like Technician and Skill Link nowadays to even boost its damage even more. It's a very fast, very hard-hitting Pokemon. It has fake out access. Back in the day, I would just click fake out and then click like beat up or tail whip, or not tail whip, but tail slap. It has some specific multi-hitting move that you would use. I always forget the name of it every single time I look through, but you would hit like fake out into one attack and it would just two-shot like everything. It was double hit. There was double hit and something else. There's something that hits like 5 times. I always forget. Anyways, it's not important. The point is, nothing used to be able to tank Ambipom. Like it would beat through Golem, it would beat through Steelix. Like those were like the best counters, but god, it just hit too hard and was way too strong. Nowadays in the current NU tier, you have base Rotom form, you've got Hitmontop, you've got Steelix on top of it, you got Swampert, Arcanine, Intimidate. Like all these mons, Druddigon ability moved, Quillfish, a lot of these mons tank Ambipom way better, Mandibuzz, than Pokemon you had available 2 years ago. So it wouldn't surprise me if Ambipom is not broken in the NU tier, but I could be wrong. The big thing to watch out there for is Magic Bound Xatu. It would not surprise me if NU players desperately want to get their hands on good competitive Magic Bound Xatus. Abuse that fact. You know, make some competitive Pokemon, sell them, breed up good Xatus. This is a perfect time. They will want hidden ability, so be careful with that. Make sure you keep an eye out for that hidden ability access, but it wouldn't surprise me if hidden ability Xatus are on the rise in the early parts of May. All right. Now, I am lucky enough, privileged enough to be able to show you guys, dude, when he whispered this to me on Discord the other night, I was all caps, like, no way, this is insane, I'm losing my mind, this is insane. And it just kept getting more and more insane. This is from Too Spooky. You can find over on YouTube. You can find him over on Twitch. Make sure to check out his content. His stuff should be linked below if I'm watching this video, so make sure to go check him out. But this is not even being overly dramatic. This is one of the craziest back-to-back shiny situations I've ever seen in Pokemon history. Let's just go ahead and watch. He streamed all of this live, which is very important. He's at a Glaceon Swarm. He is currently, I think, like 119,000 encounters dry. 119,000 encounters dry on a shiny charm in a link. No donor status. 119,000 encounters dry. Checking a Glaceon Swarm.
What was your nightmare, Ace?
Yeah. He's yapping with the boys on Discord, as you do.
No, you see my issue would like to come in.
He's gonna check all the Glaceons. Is it the? I didn't even know. Every time I learned something new, I didn't even know it was the 4th and final Glaceon. No way.
Shiny Glaceon! Shiny Glaceon! Shiny Glaceon! Shiny Glaceon!
Too Spooky gets himself a shiny Glaceon from a Swarm. I didn't even know it was on the 4th one. That's awesome. That's still new. I haven't seen this full. He linked me the 2 clips when it happened and showed me the summary. I hadn't seen the YouTube video. He just uploaded this. There should be linked in the description. He just uploaded. I'll link this over in my stream chat as well right now live. This is insane. If you saw this live, dude, you witnessed legendary memes. So he gets himself a Swarm Shiny Glaceon. That's insane. To break a 119,000 encounter dry streak, okay? He then breeds down that Shiny Glaceon into a Shiny Eevee and evolves it into a Shiny Espeon because that was actually his single encounter target and what he has been shiny hunting, for my understanding, on his account for quite a while. So he go ahead, and breeds that down because, he wanted a Shiny Espeon, right? He then immediately after, you could probably tell where this is going, immediately after the Glaceon Shiny and breeding it down, he had one encounter from getting one more shiny. I guess no, from getting these. I think he won one random encounter, wild encounter. He goes to a Volcarona Swarm. I think the Bulbasaur sprites are just some sprite mod that he has installed. He goes to a Volcarona Swarm, and on the second vault he checks.
I'm sorry, Sunday. I'm sorry. Oh, no way. What?
He gets himself a 3. This is like chilling. A 3 encounter shiny Volcarona. A 3 encounter shiny Volcarona would already be absolutely batshit crazy. But the fact that he got this, back-to-back Swarm Shinies is something I've never seen before. Back-to-back Swarm Shinies, and they are both rares. And one of them being like his dream target shiny. This is like legitimately one of the most legendary back-to-back shinies I've ever seen in all of PokeMMO in my 13 years. And one of the funniest parts of all, I guess Spooky is just this kind of guy. Dude, his reaction is so chill. I would have been like fucking clapping like a seal, throwing my chair around, screaming like I'm like screaming more than he is. Dude, hey, everybody's different. I love his style. You gotta respect it. Bro he's nonchalant. He's a chill dude.
Oh, no way.
He might just be stunned, to be fair. I see Duxley in chat. Shout out. I think he's just speechless.
That's insane. Wait, I can't go to Johto, so I'm gonna send the raid over to you. Y'all, I'm ending. This is the best Too Spooky stream ever.
Dude, much love to Too Spooky. I'm so glad he was not only recording. I always tell people, record your shiny hunts. It's so important for history, and if cool moments happen, you'll regret if you didn't, And, okay, wait a minute, hold up. Who's this? Wait a minute. Who's this coming over to hang out in game? Well, we were just talking. Let's speak of the devil. What's up, man? I didn't expect that. I'm not watching Twitch chat right now. So, dude, honored to have you, man. Dude, it's insane. Like, he's flex. It's the coolest. Oh my God. It is one of the coolest back-to-back clips I've ever seen. Like, he linked him into me in game. I cannot say congratulations enough. 2 times 31 HP. Like, I can't believe you had the gall to go shiny check that Vault Swarm. I can't believe you were like, yeah, I know I just got a Swarm Shiny Glaceon. I'm going to go check the Volcarona. And because you had the gall to go do that, most people would be like, nah, there's no chance. Why even waste my time? When you use that, when you do that, you give yourself the opportunity, I wasn't going to check it. Chat convinced me. Stream your shiny hunts. Twitch chat always knows best. True and real. Stream your shiny hunts whenever possible. That is insane, man. Oh my goodness. Okay. Moving on. We got to move on. But that is just, dude, absolutely insane from Too Spooky. All right. Next up, we have one more thing to cover, I believe, over in my browser. So give me 1 sec. We'll get back to where we were at. The last thing is one of my favorite new sections of the stream recap is the daily item market check. Okay. So what we do is we check the full history of an item's market history in PokeMMO, according to PokeMMO Hub. If you aren't familiar, PokeMMO Hub is a fantastic website, a fantastic tool for logging your investments, tracking the economy, and helping you figure out what investments you might want to make. How can you make an investment without knowing the price history of the item? Like, that really impacts things. Today we're looking at the anniversary chest, one of my favorite items of all time in PokeMMO that unfortunately has come down a lot in price, understandably so. If you don't know, almost every single collectible, every single investment, a lot of things item wise especially are down right now in PokeMMO. Non-pragmatic, non-usable things. We are in a weird period of PokeMMO where there are less diverse money making methods than ever, so I think players are feeling frustrated, they're feeling burnt out a little bit on those money making methods. So what they do is they go sell their investments. I think a lot of people are selling their investments. Is that a Shalfa Sunflora in game? That is, we'll get to that later. That's distracting but beautiful. They have dropped down to 30k, which is hard to see. Like, that hurts because I love this item, but at the same time, there's honestly just not a lot of value in this item. I love this item. This is the item that contains the psychic training helmet. These have the shiny Kanto Friends particle effect, which is worth about 3 mil or so Pokeyen, I believe. I love the anniversary chest because to me it's like a historical item in PokeMMO. It came out during the 10-year anniversary event in PokeMMO, which is my favorite event ever of all time in the game, which is crazy to say that event was what now 3 years ago. That's insane to say. It feels like it was so recent, right? The anniversary chest was we've never seen an event like, we've never seen an item like it with goodie bags and, you know, Santa presents. We see those every year. We only saw the anniversary chest in 2023 for one event ever, and that was it. They've never returned. And the devs even talked about the idea of bringing back an anniversary event type thing every single year, and it just never happened. So I love the idea of potentially seeing these in the future return, like a different variant or variety. Anniversary chests 2027. The 15th anniversary is coming up next year for PokeMMO, so I would love to see it then. We'll see what happens, obviously, but even if this item was worth 100 Pokeyen a piece, I would hold on to my stack because to me, this item, I have a bunch of these. This item just represents, there also were golden anniversary chests. I forgot about that. This item just represents like PokeMMO. It represents PokeMMO. It represents the best event in my opinion. I loved it, man. It also was the event that introduced alpha Pokemon into the game. It's when we first tested, they introduced alpha starters into the game via via that event. So when you see alpha Charizards and alpha, you know, Bulbasaurs and yada 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 being so expensive, it's because they were introduced. They've gotten more expensive over time. Even they were introduced during the 10-year anniversary event. If you defeated, like, I think it was the first raid as well, you defeated Red, right? So really beautiful, really crazy to see, man. I love that event. It'll always be a historic event to me. Even if those sealed products drop to the bottom, I will love them forever. Okay, I'll hold on to mine for a very long time, if not a fair bit of them forever. But that's our daily little item market check to see that when it released. Now, this is not all the way back. When it first released, this only covers back to September. It first released actually before this. When these first released, they were like 18k. I think during the event, let the record show, I was there. I can qualify, you know, during the event, these dropped as far down as like 18k. They might have been lower, but I remember them being 18. I bought a bunch of these for 18 to 20k. That was the main price that I bought. And then I think I bought a bunch more when they were around 30k because they were 18 to 20k, rose to 50k very quickly, came back down to 30k. I probably bought a lot more around here, and then they rose up to like 50k, and they were even like 70, 80k at a point. I wish I would have sold a little bit more of these. Once again, I've talked about this. One of the biggest problems that I myself and a lot of veteran players are noticing we diamond hands too much. A lot of the veteran players that I know we're holding on to investments for too long. We gotta get better at. So we know how to buy stuff and make the investments. We gotta get better about when to sell and how to trickle sell and things like that. But that's our little daily item market check to see the history of this item. It wouldn't surprise me. It's dropped to 30k before. It wouldn't surprise me if it goes up again. If you want to make an investment on this item, I think it's a decent time. But I will say, I think this item is more fueled by nostalgia and history rather than the contents inside. So just keep that in mind if you want to, you know, buy it. But I could be wrong. I could be mistaken by that. 30k is pretty cheap, right? So anyways, let's jump over to our achievement showcase. This is a very long stream recap intro. You know I love to yap, boys, even on the birthday. jump over to our achievement showcase, and first things first, I want to cover, dude, Rumel, fellow PokeMMO content creator. He's on Twitch, Rumel45, and he's on YouTube under Rumel. He has been popping off. He's been streaming consistently, making a ton of content. I try to shout out other content creators whenever I possibly can who are underrated, deserved, underrepresented. Rumel is doing a wild Ironman challenge, very similar to my Ironman challenge. However, the main thing is he cannot breed Pokemon, and that changes things dramatically. Having to catch all of your Pokemon in the wild, getting good enough IVs for things like raids, for PvP, for reward Pokemon, like having to wild catch everything and not being able to breed it up and fix it up changes everything. It makes kind of cleaning your boxes a bit easier, because he doesn't have to keep every 1x31 breeder like I do and have to spend all this Pokeyen on breeding. Like there's a lot of really cool stuff like this. So it really does change. Every little stipulation you make on an Ironman account really does change the way it's played. So shout out to Rumel and good luck on his challenge. It's a very cool thing to see play out, that I love seeing people have these little variations on the Ironman account, which my Ironman account is just a variation of the old school RuneScape Ironman. I didn't like invent this from scratch. I'm no creative genius. It's just, that's the beauty of, I think creation right now is just kind of twisting it in your own way and having fun with it. Next up, Maywin, a really cool like long post. Let's see if I can zoom in and read this properly. I love when people just share like the emotional stories behind all their hunts, because I think it's really a large part of grinding in PokeMMO, is getting through the emotional ups and downs, the roller coaster of legendary hunts, shiny hunts, etc. Maywin said, finally, after a previous month with 12,000 encounters and no Raikou, no legendary, 12,000 encounters dry for legendary, on an account with 400 plus hours, no shiny after 47k dry encounters, a little bit dry on everything. This is a lot of time, a lot of grinding. Finally got a little bit of a blessing for the Ironman account, Zapdos with 2,000 encounters, and then Entei after 5,000 encounters. I'm so happy I can't express it. My first account on my Ironman account, now that give me 1,000 plus hours of playtime in total. I've never once seen a legendary beast in Johto, and I was afraid I was doing something wrong. I totally get that. That is a very normal like paranoia that certain Pokemon players feel. Be like, am I shiny hunting correctly? Am I in the wrong spot for the legendary? And it takes you getting the first one to be like, it's okay, I'm doing everything right. It's just a grind, So I wanted to say congrats to Maywin for this really cool accomplishment and to pushing through. Like, so much of PokeMMO is about pushing through, and that will come up again as we go through these achievements today. Speaking of pushing through, Shinigami, congratulations, Soul. Finally caught my first shiny ever. Never shunted before PokeMMO in any Pokemon game, so it felt like a marathon. It is a marathon. It is. Number one, it is a marathon. Number two, bro, you pulled the double marathon. You went almost 60,000 encounters dry for your first ever shiny in PokeMMO. 59,000 encounters. You have set the tone. The beautiful part of shiny hunting in your first shiny in PokeMMO is that it sets the tone. It is a blessing and a curse to go dry in your first shunt, because if you go dry in your first shunt, the odds of you quitting before getting your first shiny increase, and that is scary. However, you already did the hard part, Soul. If you can push through your first dry shunt, every other shunt from this point forward is going to feel like a cakewalk. If your first shunt is really difficult, well, now all the other ones are going to feel a lot easier, and you're going to be able to, you're ready to handle them now. It is like, shiny hunting is a mental game of endurance, man, and you won. You did it. You did a fantastically strong start to your shunting career, and I hope you have a nice long and get some lucky streaks along the way coming up here soon, Shinigami. So congratulations to you, man. It's really cool to see new players push through a 59k dry streak, dude. Next up, Vlad. Similar situation. Almost lost my mind going 70,000 encounters dry for my first shiny ever in any Pokemon game. Look at these similar, dude, these new players are pushing through. That's what matters. You guys are awesome, dude. 70,000 dry for his first shiny was a Vulpix. And then his RNG evened out. He went 19,000 encounters dry for a Litwick, 3k for a Smeargle, and 2,600 for a Luxio. This is what you want to see, man. If you shiny hunt long enough in PokeMMO, your RNG evens out. You have to just get there. And that's the hard part for so many of us, understandably so. Congratulations to you, Vlad. You pushed through. You did it, dude. Keep going. Good luck to you, man. Next up, a little bit of an opposite story. Bro, Cats over here, 70 hours into their account, 76 hours, got themselves a shiny Spinda at only 3,700 encounters. And what's crazier is you can see on their trainer card, max obedience level 33. This guy got a fucking storyline like single encounter shiny, man. That's sick. That is sick. Yeah, the driest shiny hunt ever. For those, it's a great question for perspective. For those wondering, the driest shiny hunt ever that was confirmed by the developers of the game, the driest shiny hunt ever, to my knowledge, was 475,000 encounters dry. Around that, it was like maybe 474, 476, 475,000 encounters dry. That was done by Karoshi. You may know that name. They hang out in my community a fair bit. That was done by Karoshi during the first ever shiny war in PokeMMO. And they ended up getting, I think, second place. And imagine, that was a tough thing. I don't want to get too much of the details or whatever, but like, imagine getting second place in an event where, you went 475k dry. Like, that's a tough. And Karoshi's just the GOAT. Karoshi just pushes. They're talking about pushing through. If you want to learn how to push through, talk to Karoshi. Talk to Karoshi. Watch Karoshi streams. He streams sometimes over on Twitch. He's a GOAT of PokeMMO. All right, next up. Shard got himself a legendary Pokemon, man. He went over 82,000 encounters and hasn't gotten a shiny. He's 82k dry. Speaking of, once again, new players being dry, but still pushing through, and that's the hard part, dude. 82,000 encounters dry for his first shiny, and still no shiny. However, he did finally get a W and got himself an Entei. He actually sent a recording of the catch. The recording had some really banger, I don't know the music, but it was fucking sick music. Unfortunately, it was sick copyrighted music, so I can't play the recording, but it is cool to share his Entei's, and not shiny, but his Entei catch, man. Your first legendary is a big deal, and he master. I don't recommend master ball on your legendaries, but fuck it, fuck efficiency. Sometimes you just need a win. So I respect this a ton, man. Congratulations over to Shard. And now we have the final two achievements of the day, two big ones. Firstly, Taxed got himself his first shiny on his Ironman account while EV training. Got himself a 2x31 shiny Basculin. This is going to be an amazing shiny breeder deeper into your Ironman accounts. Unless you want to keep it a Basculin, of course, or keep your first shiny. I respect that. But this could be a really good breeder for an Ironman account. That's congratulations, man. 2x31 for your first shiny is super sick, dude. Congratulations, Taxed. And then next up, dude, this was covered when he caught it. When he caught it, I talked about this on stream because it was such a damn big deal. But he finally posted it in the achievement showcase. I'm a little, as you can see, I'm covering achievement showcase stuff from April 13th. It's currently April 29th. I'm just trying to get to as much as possible. This is genuinely, we're covering two of the craziest shinies today, like in Pokemon history. This is genuinely one of the most insane wild encounter shinies I've ever seen in Pokemon history. I'm not trying to be dramatic. I know I say a lot. I'm sorry, but 0 phases. This is on average, I think, a 20 phase shiny hunt. He went 0. He skipped a 2,000 hour shiny hunt. I believe Hitmontop is a 5% encounter here. He said, fuck it, I don't want to do a 2,000 hour shiny hunt. Let me do it in 4 days instead. Skipped a 2,000 hour shiny hunt, got himself a 27,500 wild encounter shiny Hitmontop. Breeding this Pokemon is a pain in the butt, by the way, because it evolves. When you breed a Hitmon line, it goes into Tyrogue. It's a babe Pokemon, and you have to evolve the Tyrogue before you can rebreed it. It's a pain in the butt. Things like Lucario, the Hitmons, these are harder to breed than things like Bulbasaurs, Charmanders. They're way more annoying and way more difficult and way more expensive. But he said, you know what? I'm just going to single encounter one. So he got himself, and look at the stats. You might not have noticed. He 0 phased 27,000 encounters. Jolly Nature 2x31 in the perfect 2 IVs. 31 attack, 31 speed. This thing is usable in raids. I wouldn't recommend it. Like, it's usable in PvP. It's not ideal. You want bulk on your PvP Hitmontop, but like the fact that this is usable in anything at all is just, this is ridiculous. This is insane. This is absurd. It's just absurd, man. One of the craziest single wild encounter shunts I've seen, man. 0 phase, one of the rarest shinies in PokeMMO. 27,000 encounters, the IVs, the nature, everything about this is just ridiculous. Once in a lifetime kind of shiny from Nutty Professor. Congratulations to you, man. I hope you continue your great work. All right, that is our achievement showcase. I'm gonna get to shiny hunting now. I'm gonna be keeping track of my encounters a lot more on the main account today, because I'm actually shutting on this account now a lot more, right? I'm starting today at 8,765 encounters. I have dono status. I might pop some charms today. We will see. But I'm mostly going to be doing time swipe hordes. I'm doing time swipe hordes on the main account and the Ironman account, trying to maximize my chance. If I hunt for about 4 hours, what's the math? If I hunt for about 4 hours and I get about like 1,800 encounters, the math on that, we might be able to get, you know, 2 accounts or whatever. Ideally, let me bring up my little Windows couch. Let's be honest, I'm terribly inefficient. I'm probably getting like 800 counters on both accounts. Let's just count it at 1,600, okay? At 1,600, let's say I play for like 3 hours. What is that, 40? We have a good chance. We might be able to get like 5,000 encounters today total on one stream because we're using 2 accounts, which is super nice. So that's going to be the goal, fellas. Let's just go ahead and jump into it. We're starting today on the main account. Once again, 8,765 encounters. I cannot talk today. The Ironman is at 10,750 encounters. So I don't have, it's my birthday. I'm allowed to not be able to talk, okay? Let's just go ahead and jump into it, fellas. I will see you guys with any clips. And if you shiny hunt alongside me, get a shiny next to me, I will give you a prize. Let's finally stop the intro. 30-minute intro, Keck W, new record, and jump into things. All right, a few things to yap about really quick. We have move spots. I am popping chum buckets. It's been really fun to use chum buckets on the main account since I can't really use them on an Ironman account. It's a cool, really powerful item to be able to abuse. Chum buckets, shiny charm. I've popped everything. We're down to 1 in 24,300 shiny rate over here fishing at Wailmer, getting tons of Wailmers. You get like 440 to 460 encounters per hour over here. Also, what's cool is at the top of my screen now, you can see community combat NU number 500 just began. Dude, we just had stream recap 500. What are the odds of that? That's kind of wholesome. That not really means a whole lot, but it's cute, dude. Community combat NU number 500 happening in stream recap 502. It's kind of a good reminder, like PokeMMO is still, we're still up and coming in a lot of those ways. All those automated tournaments, the stream recaps, things like that. Really cool to see that, dude. PokeMMO's come a long way in terms of PvPQ and what you're able to do with that. So congrats on community combat number 500 for PokeMMO, dude. Alrighty, fellas, I know this is kind of a shorter stream. I think it ended up being like a 3.5 hour stream, though, to be fair, honestly. Today was always meant to be a little bit of a shorter stream as it is my birthday. I do want to go spend some time with my wife and hang out and do some things like that, but I hope you guys still enjoyed. Hopefully you had fun. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Dislike if not, that's okay. Subscribe to the channel for daily PokeMMO videos. I do upload almost every single day. I stream Monday through Thursday on Twitch at 12 p.m. ET. Discord's down below if you're into that. If you want to go above and beyond and support my content, YouTube memberships, Twitch Primes, Twitch subs, and PayPal and Venmo donations do help out a ton. Thanks for watching, fellas. I'll see you guys later. I'll probably see you Thursday. I might not. We'll have to see. I have some videos that I'm cooking up as well in the background, as always, of course, with some big, hopefully evergreen content coming up that are good guides and such and money making. Focus on that a bit more. I will see you guys very, very soon. But for now, have a good one, guys. Peace, Areno. Yo, what's up? Outro Patrouski here, and I wanted to say thank you so much to everybody's name who is on this list. You really allow me to make the content that I do every single day, and I hope I can make it worth your guys' while and add to your PokeMMO journey. Thanks again so much for watching the entire video, and have a great day.